Let us go to the Pledge of Allegiance, if you don't mind. First to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to the Texas state flag, honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Although some people are not so sure. Some people are not so sure it's indivisible, okay? We have recognition of a couple of people, some from a month ago, some recently. So I'll ask the board if you don't mind to join me. First, I'd like to call up Gabriel Aguilar. Gabriel. Yeah.
Gabriel is in our Deeds and Exemptions Department, and we have some of the staff here.
David, come up here. You get as much right to be in this picture as I.
Gabriel's been with us. He pretty much knows everything about exemptions, anything to do with deeds. Gabriel is one of the first ones to volunteer for overtime. He will come in and he'll even say, look, don't worry about it. I'll be here. Whenever the weather's bad and we have to have a skeleton crew, he volunteers to be here. Gabriel, thank you for 25 years, and we really appreciate you.
What our certificate says is this is a certificate of appreciation in recognition of 25 years of dedicated service. This certificate is awarded to Gabriel Aguilar. Thank you for your service. Thank you all. Great place. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Melissa Fernandez. Look at that.
Now, this is really interesting. Melissa started out in what we called our central records, dealing with filing and answering phones. Worked her way up through appraiser to senior, and she's now part of our litigation group. She is also the president of the Texas Association of Assessing Officers, only the second one from El Paso to be president of that organization, and it's been since the 80s. Thank you.
Her certificate reads also Certificate of Appreciation and Recognition of 25 years of dedicated service. This certificate is awarded to Melissa Fernandez. 25 years. So that's 25. We'll do it again in 50 years.
In 50?
All right, James Thompson. Boy, James.
No.
I don't know what this place was like without
Jimmy and I was already here when Jimmy started. He was from the Agriculture Extension Agent. He's a Texas Aggie, but don't hold that against him. And he was here for our agricultural department, and he's now the director of evaluation. Has worked everywhere when it comes to appraisals. So he's my right-hand person when it comes to valuations and dealing with the different departments. So 30 years in July, and we wanted to go ahead while y'all were here and recognize him.
Thank you. 30 years of dedicated service. This certificate is awarded to Jimmy James Thompson. 30 years.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Were you in the Corps?
Mr. Thompson?
Were you in the Corps Cadets?
You what now?
Were you in the Corps Cadets?
No, sir. No. No.
My son's there now. He's finally able to.
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you guys.
Now, I have a presentation to make. This meeting, thank you guys so much for showing up, not only because we have a lot to do, but we have a birthday cake over here. We have a birthday, Tanny Bird. It's not mariachis, but it is a,
Better than mariachis.
yeah, it is a cake. And we all staff that are here, we'd like to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tanny. Happy birthday to you.
We're not real good singers.
I tell you, these birthdays are getting harder and harder. But I will tell you, they beat the alternative.
Yes.
It's better to make them than not to make them, okay?
That's right.
Dina's gonna cut the cake, and she'll have some plates out here for y'all to have a slice of cake.
Thank you all very much, appreciate that. I do want to announce, I want to make present a few people that are here. You remember that we had to have 3 people who ran, 2 that actually had candidates and 1 that we appointed.
Right.
But I want to introduce at least the 2 that are here. They're here just as observers today. They take their position in August, and actually it's July, and they'll actually be at their first meeting in August because we don't meet June or July. But I'd like to introduce Alfred Gonzalez, who's here. He was place 1. And Melody Jimenez, who's here as well.
Melanie?
She was going to be here. She's here in spirit. But I will tell you one thing she better not be is not available because we need a quorum. So she better be here. And I want to thank all of the board members who are here.
He's here.
Oh, okay. I want to also automatically appointed to our Central Paso District Board. This, Sergio, we're going to lose you. But we do have a representative of the county. It's our new county. It's our county tax assessor. Good friend anyway, Ruben. Ruben, are you here? Ruben Gonzalez. So Ruben will be representing the county starting at our first meeting in August.
No, January.
Oh, he doesn't start till
Yeah,
January.
January of.
So you don't come in, guy, until January, but you better not miss a meeting, Ruben. But you don't count to the quorum, I don't think, either.
No. Well,
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
We don't even know the rules, bro. I mean, this is such a mess. So you do count to the quorum, so we do need you to show up at every meeting. All right? If you notice, we had a little bit of a problem. There was some leakage, and the only thing that went down was our pictures. So if you go downstairs, you can see all of our pictures are gone, because that wall is gone. We had an issue, and I think it just centered on us, and I think it's being fixed. We'll talk about that. I think it was a sign. It was a sign that we better get out of the way, and the wall came
Now's the
down.
time to replace our pictures if we want.
yes,
If you want a new picture,
Yes,
have us
ma'am.
take a new picture. We'll put it up there for
I'll
you.
go over that a little bit more in the director's report.
So
Public comment on the budget.
is there any public comment? Did anybody sign up for public comment on anything?
No, sir.
So we had no public
No
comment on.
public comment for the proposed budget
Or
or
for
for
anything.
anything.
So we need approval on the signing of the minutes for April. Those of you, you've all should have had a chance to look them over. They were sent to you. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? They're behind, I think, number 5. 4, I'm sorry.
I move to approve because I already signed up.
All right. We've already signed them anyway. I'll approve. Is there a second? Yes,
second
right
that.
there. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Very important. We want to, it says, I want to move up the approval of the budget because I think we need to get that done. It's number 6, right?
Yes, sir, number 6.
So if you have, number 6, the budget we've looked at, we approved it. We sent it to the entities. We need to approve it now. So it goes back to the entities as a final statement. It does require a motion and a second. So if anybody would be interested, I'd love to see a motion and a second on,
Motion to approve the budget.
Second.
and a second from Sergio. Any discussion? We've already looked at it. We've already discussed it. We sent it to the entities. It's already been printed. But this is the formality of getting it done. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion at all? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it passes unanimously.
Would you do me a favor, Chairman, and read in the amount of the budget?
Just so that you have it, and it'll be in the minutes, you have it in front of you anyway. The total amount of the proposed budget is $24,805,718.09, which is an increase of about $2.8 million over last year. We talked about why that is. We're adding additional employees. I'm not going to go over it again, but the total budget is $24,800,000, and we've added about $2.8 million, all of which we've had no comment from the entities on that addition.
Correct.
All right, just so that you have that down. All right, let's go back to the review and approval of the financial report for March. Rosa.
Good evening, Rosa Goldman, Chief Financial Officer. We are presenting the financial report for the month of March 2024. The financial report contains the balance sheet, report of revenues, expenditures, and changes in cash balance, the investment report, and the note to the financial report. For the month of March, we do not have any account that is over budget, and the encumbered funds remain the same. Nothing has been used out of those funds. So litigation reserve still has $914,227, and the Board of Directors election reserve, $527,886. Are there any questions?
Any questions of Rosa? I only want to point out that we had allocated that we were going to take out of those encumbered funds the possibility of having to run an election. We avoided that unnecessary expense, and so that money has remained in the encumbered account, right?
Yes, sir.
Just want to make that point.
Yes, sir.
Any questions of Rosa? All right, I believe this is an item we need to motion to approve and second. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Eduardo, is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion on this motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosa, for everything that you do every day. All right, we're on number 7. Discussion and possible action regarding the cancellation of a Board of Directors meeting. Generally, we do not meet in June or July. And the reason, obviously, it's summer, but beyond that, the ARB meets here, and they take up this space. So we need to have a motion, as we have had every year since Walter taught me this years ago. We have had a motion to eliminate or just to negate the meetings. We don't have to meet but quarterly anyway, but to eliminate the meetings for June and July. We'll meet again in August. Need a motion to that effect.
Move to,
Move second. Is there any discussion? If there is any business, I will call a special meeting, but this is just for us. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we won't have a meeting in June or July.
And just to confirm, the meeting will be August 22nd, which is the fourth Thursday. And to make sure y'all, we did meet our quarter, because we have to meet once every quarter. We met the first quarter, we're now meeting the second quarter. And even not having the meetings in June or July, we will meet our third quarter. So we're not going to be short. And
We only
we're
miss 2
good.
months out of the year. We meet 10 times a year, yeah.
August 22nd or the 15th? I have the 15th.
15th is too soon, it's usually the last Thursday of the month.
Yeah, the reason we meet the
The 3rd.
third,
Oh, we do
yes.
meet
Oh,
the
I'm
third.
sorry. Yes, it is the 15th. Thank you,
You were
Ms.
right.
York. Yes.
I had it in
15,
my
let me
phone.
punch it
Sorry,
in.
I had that written
So look
down
on
wrong.
put it on your calendar.
I do.
Thank you so
So we'll be
much.
meeting on the 15th. All right? Discussion possible action on the announcement. Applicants sought for appraisal review board members. What, do we have action?
Okay, board members, normally the judge will tell us in these past years when to post the announcement in the newspaper that there's applications available for appraisal review board members. And we normally do that the first part of August. Since the board is not meeting until the middle of August, what we're doing right now is asking permission from the board. We normally ask permission from the judge to go ahead and post the announcement the first part of August to let the public know that applications are being accepted. We thought because this is new for us, we would do it officially and have a motion.
I move to post the announcement August 1st.
Is the announcement under tab 7
It's
or 8?
tab 8.
So if you have any question as to what the announcement looks like, you can go under tab 8, you can see the announcement. Even if we have to amend it later, let's say you haven't had a chance to look it over. If you look it over during the week and you decide we had a misspelling or whatever, we can always adjust. So all in favor, is there a second to that motion? All right, is there any discussion relating to the motion on posting the applicant sought for appraisal review board, which we are going to need? All right, all in favor of the motion, signal, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay, discussion regarding changes to the EPCAD Board of Directors due to Senate Bill 2. What kind of discussion?
The reason I put this is strictly discussion, and I'm going to start putting this on every agenda because we always tend to, something happens in our agenda that the conversation comes up and we don't have it agendized. So I'm just going to throw it in there. If anybody wants to ask any questions or we want to discuss it, I figured that way it protects us from staying on the agenda. There's no action. It was just discussion in case anybody, seems like something always comes up and somebody wants to clarify, so.
It's so confusing. The Senate Bill 2 was very, very confusing, and it makes a lot of adjustments to us and to the Appraisal Review Board and our relationship with them. So at the end of the day, we've been discussing it, but really out of agenda, so now it's on the agenda.
Yeah, so that way it covers, and you guys have got copies of that Senate bill. I think we've sent it to you before, but this was another way of making sure that you had it.
right.
We'll put it on the August agenda too, just
There's
as a
no action,
discussion.
so it's
No
not like
action.
we need a motion. It's just, this is your chance, and you'll have it every month to say, what the heck's going on? Why are we doing this? All right? So we're glad to see Tracy back and healthy again. We missed her last month like crazy, but Tracy will give us a taxpayer liaison report.
Good evening, Board of Directors. Tracy Carter, Taxpayer Liaison Report. I would like to give you some information on what's been going on with the Appraisal Review Board. They did start on April 17th. They started hearing protests with one panel came in. On May 2nd, the ARB started bringing in 5 panels. So more ARBs or members were brought in. On May 8th, they started with 6 panels. On June 3rd, the ARB will increase their panels to 12. So that way we can start hearing protests. The ARB is going to work 5 Saturdays this summer to listen to all the protests to get that done. And I am still waiting from the State Comptroller's report on the 2023 Appraisal Review Board results. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Is everything okay?
Everything's good. Yes. Surviving.
How many ARB members do you actually have?
45.
That requires an applause because we didn't think we'd get there. So, okay, thank you. Any questions of Tracy?
Does it look like we have a lot of protests coming in?
Oh, I've got that in my director's report.
Okay, good.
I'm going to give you sometimes you get a little precursor, a little warning, but Tracy will have been with us for anniversary this coming Monday. So she'll get her certificate. It won't be until August, but she will get her certificate in August for an anniversary that she celebrates Monday, just to give you guys a heads up. All right, Chief Appraiser Report.
Okay, I'll try to keep this brief but informative. First of all, the busted pipe. We had a lot of social media that called us. We were not being honest, open. We were not disclosing. Why were we closed? Well, we had a pipe bust on the 2nd floor on an early Monday morning, and by the time John Banda, our maintenance supervisor, came in, we had a couple of inches of water in the lobby of the 2nd floor and the 1st floor. And in the lobby, when you walk in, the light fixtures, we actually had waterfalls coming out of the light fixtures. So we had a lot of damage. So, of course, we immediately closed the building, sent people home because we brought in, the maintenance guys were here to mop everything up, but they brought in a plumber and Surface Pro. And
Yeah,
so
they used our
Surface,
pictures to mop it
oh,
up.
I know, yeah. So Surface Pro
with
came
that.
in and immediately started, we had mush for ceiling tiles, when it gets all wet, it's mushy. They started cleaning everything up. They tore down, you'll see it when you come in or out. They tore out the walls and the ceiling and started the fans. So they needed a solid amount of hours, so we went ahead and closed on Tuesday so they could keep the fans and the humidifiers going. They kept them going 24/7 till about 10 o'clock Wednesday. We opened 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. We moved the smaller fans because of the cords, but we left the humidifiers to continue drying it out. And we have been certified from them that all of that's been done. It turned out it was a regulator that wasn't regulating, and the pressure built up, and it blew a pipe when we replaced our water fountains. When they put the pipes in, I guess it didn't really seal or fit tight, and when that pressure went too high, it busted it. And so it was just gushing. Our plumber, though, it was really funny, on Monday morning, and we're all meeting with Commissioner's Court, and so we're trying to figure out what do we need to do. We're putting signs up and telling people we're sorry, and the plumber comes over and he says, I can't get to the regulator, but I'm pretty sure that what it is. And I said, what, do we need to dig a hole or what? And he goes, no, you have a skunk in there. So we had a skunk living in the box in the ground where
Four-legged skunk.
four-legged, yeah,
Sometimes
four-legged,
there's two.
an animal. And so then we had to call animal control. The officer was here and he says, let me call them because we can get them to show up. So they came and had to take the issue of the skunk before the plumber could do any work. So we had the water off. We did tell everybody for a couple of days, bring water, because we don't know what the situation was going to be, but we did have the bathrooms up and running, and we opened back up. So what I would like to tell the board is I did contact Mr. Berg, Chairman Berg, immediately and told him what was happening. We did file a claim with our insurance company. They did come in that week, like I think Wednesday or Thursday, and took pictures, and we're hoping for the claim. If we don't have enough, if the claim isn't enough, I will probably be coming to the board and asking, that's why we have our contingency, to take money out of contingency, because this is one of those emergencies that's not counted for. That's why we have that contingency amount. We haven't touched it for this year. So if we find that the claim doesn't cover everything, then in August, I'll be coming to the board to ask a certain amount to be taken out of contingency to help pay for that. We have not started with the replacement of the sheetrock yet. We've got a lot of people here, so we're holding off on that. We're getting bids on what that will cost. Oh, we also found out about a week later, right there behind where the officer sits, and it's open. We kept seeing water in the little area. Well, cast iron pipes had rusted where the connections are. So we said, fix it. You got the wall open, fix those. So the plumber fixed those. Whether that'll be part of the this or not, I don't know, but just wanted to give y'all.
They replaced the piping?
Yes, they did.
I want to congratulate Dinah because they were only down for 2 days. And I'm going to tell you that had it been one of my buildings, we would have been down for a week. So somehow she got this thing put together. They opened up again, and the impact to the public was minimal. And I got to tell you, it could have been profound. So I'm sorry you got criticism, but you did an outstanding job.
You know, it was my staff, maintenance crew, the employees that stayed to help clean, my supervisors. We even had mediations going on. My litigation group, they actually met with the mediators at their office, so they kept going on. And so, you know, we have an amazing, amazing staff that just steps in. And so because of that, we were able to open back up and only be down really 2 days for the public. And luckily, it was the week before or 2 weeks before the deadline. So they still had plenty of time to file their protests. So I'll go into that next. As of the 15th, in the morning, we ran numbers, and we had about 19,945 total protests. So say right under 2,000. We ran the numbers again this afternoon after the deadline yesterday, and we're about 27,000 protests, which we were expecting the last few days. Compared to years before, we're down. We are down in the number of protests, about 3,000 protests less.
The reason you shouldn't be surprised, Jackie, is because the exemption went up. So even though people's values may have gone up, their actual taxes, effective taxes.
I'm surprised because we're getting a lot more calls this year than last year.
We were surprised. Now, again, we have a lot. This doesn't include the numbers because Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, had a lot of people coming in. We have the mail, and we have a lot of electronic that waited until late yesterday to file, and we haven't processed those yet. So what I will do, since we've canceled the
like
June.
40-some thousand, right, last year?
Last year was about 42, and the same with the year before.
People acknowledge that values have gone up. I mean, they can only protest if they can give us comparatives to show us that the values have gone down. But people are aware that values in El Paso have gone up. Now, I can only speak for my own properties, the properties I've seen, and honestly, I don't think that what we valued them was unreasonable. And I think what we're getting is 28,000 people who thought there might be some discrepancy. But I think generally speaking, people complain and argue and all, but when they really look at the values compared to what the values are in their neighborhoods, they pretty much can't really argue about them because they know what values are like.
I think what we'll see the numbers go up is because the agents wait till the very last minute to file, so we'll see that. So I'm expecting about the same. If it's higher, I have to apologize to staff. If it's lower, they get to apologize to me, administration. But what I'll do is in June and July, I will send you guys email updates since we're not going to have meetings. So in the June update, I will have some updated numbers for you. And then by July, I can have the numbers of how many hearings we've had. On the good side is I did meet yesterday with Western Refinery, the folks from Marathon Oil, and of course Peggy Wardlaw. She did a great presentation, got a lot of information, and we sat down with them and we came to an agreement, have a waiver signed, and both the real estate and personal property are going up in value. And we have the waiver signed, so we agreed to numbers. So that'll show up probably in your updated report that the entities will get the end of this month, 1st of June. So I was very happy with that, and they're meeting with the electric company next week, so that's good. And speaking of meetings, David Stone and I, you've seen David in the media. Everybody recognizes David now. We can't even go out to lunch. We've been meeting with a lot of neighborhood groups, senior citizen groups. We had 4 staff members on Monday, went to a senior citizen in Grandview, and they, it's Mr. Longoria's on. They gave a presentation and had them fill out protests. They helped them fill out their protests. So we've been meeting with a lot of groups, a lot of media, a lot of the Representative Coronado, Representative Canales, Molinar. We've met with quite a few. And just a heads up, we're going to, Robert Garcia from our HR department is going to start our backpack and school supply drive, because we found out they're year-round, so schools are starting in July. So we were very excited last year. We were able to supply all of Tornillo schools with backpacks and school supplies, all students. So yeah, we're excited. Yes, ma'am.
What can we do for that? I would like to help participate.
Oh, that would be
in that.
great.
So
Um,
if somebody can get with me,
sure. Robert?
we could get involved. I've got the perfect person, Jennifer, and I can really get involved and
Okay.
help.
Robert,
with
show
it.
who you, yeah.
Please.
Thank you, Jackie.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I know everybody has their groups that they help, and we have found that people forget about San Lazario and Fabens because they are so far in the county. We found that in the city, more people, there's more opportunities to help, and so that's what we've been doing. And that's the end of my report, board members. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Any questions, Dinah? Or Joe, who's up there in the sky?
It's okay right now.
Does he
I want to
done.
clarify, Sergio, you're on this board till the end of the year.
Yes,
Wait a minute.
Just want to make sure you know that.
yes, I do.
So, okay, so it's not until January that he takes over, but up until then, you are a board member. And we need a quorum. I mean, it's sad that every month we have to beg for a quorum. So
No,
just put it on your calendar so you'll
No,
know when
no,
it is.
I always do it, call today
Yes,
because
thank you.
I had a meeting in Juarez with some of
No,
the
no,
people
we
regarding the
appreciate
port of
it.
entry, but I
Thank you.
still
Well,
made it. Still make
until
it.
he showed up, we weren't sure about Mr. Miller because he's
He's
the
right
same way.
there.
He has a meeting that he has to leave for right away.
Right.
So thank you,
Notice the
Mr. Miller.
time, Walter, we're going to get out of here. Any other questions of Dinah? Any other business whatsoever? Is there any reason to go into executive session? I don't think so.
No, sir, there is not.
Any discussion, possible action on any listed item or anything? Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
What were we doing with these?
Oh, those were just to remind you what
Oh,
committees
yes,
you're
yes,
on.
yes.
And
These are already set. These are the
Yes.
committees you're on, except we haven't added the 3 new people because we didn't have them. But we will, by August, we'll add the
This
3
was
new
just
people.
information.
this is, well, and mostly because of ARB,
This is
because
new. This is
the ARB
what you talked about
committee,
last
Mr.
time.
Mena, Ms. York, and Mr. Coronado, y'all will be getting the applications from Tracy and communicating with her and reviewing the applications with her. So I just wanted to make sure before we get into the summer that y'all know.
So when an item comes up before in the next budget, if you're on the technology, know full well that we will be looking to your advice to us. So if an item comes up about a new program or new money, it's
Yes.
got to go through them before it gets to us. I mean, that's what their role is. And so it would be counterproductive if we brought it to the board without running it by them. That's why they're on the committee.
Is Israel still on our?
For right now, he is.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought he wasn't, okay.
He
Yeah,
is,
he
as
still
of
is.
this moment, he is. We're going to probably institute a new policy that says if you miss 3 consecutive meetings,
I have to get off the phone. We're
All right,
in a
bye-bye, Joe.
tornado
Thank
run
you.
in
Bye,
here.
Joe. Oh,
Joe.
go,
Tornado
bye.
warning.
so if
Bye,
you miss
Joe.
3 consecutive meetings without a warning, without letting us know, and we try to reach you, if you don't get back to us, then we're just going to ask the entity to give us somebody new. As it turns out, there's only going to be 2 or 3 entities anyway out there. But we need a quorum. We can't run a business without a quorum. All right, anything else?
Cake is available.
No calories on that cake. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Walter, you're out of here in a half an hour.
Time to adjourn.
Time exactly half past. That was for Walter Miller, by the way.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
We're here when I leave.